Today on Paranormal Insights, we're going to see if you're crazy or maybe you might be psychic.
And we have a viewer question from Paul about his career.
And we're going to go to the Conspiracy Conference to talk to Deborah Tavares and find out about smart meters. I'm Joseph Ernest Martin.
And I'm Markus Thorndike.
And this is Paranormal Insights, where we bring you the latest and best from the metaphysical world.
Here, you'll get real tools and insights to your questions as we bring you answers from beyond the ordinary.
Markus is a master hand analyst and life purpose consultant. He's the author of the upcoming book, Leap, the global campaign for life, love, and the achievement of happiness for all.
Joseph is an award-winning psychic of over 25 years and is the author of the international bestseller, The Quest to Row. And he's the recipient of the Visionary Award of Excellence.
You know, one of my favorite topics in the whole world is you may not be crazy, you may be psychic. Now, it's important to note that actually some people actually are crazy. However, there's a lot of psychic experience that is not linked to mental illness, even remotely.
No, absolutely not. Like my own experience, like that. Like the experiences I've seen where at the shows where I witness all of our colleagues reading hands or doing psychic readings. It's amazing to watch all of that and how accurate it is. I've seen them speak about dogs and know their names right there. It's amazing to watch how that kind of information comes in.
Our government and Russia's has cultivated psychic spies for years. The American program focused on what was called remote viewing, which is their very own psychic spy program. Members of the military with suspected psychic skills were transferred into the program originally started with Joseph McMonagle. They worked with researchers and psychics on a protocol for observing everything from submarines to smaller documents from a location far removed. These psychic spies traveled around the globe in their minds. They were given coordinates and then traveled to that spot to see what was actually there. Once back, they quickly sketched what they had seen. Each remote viewer had their skills enhanced by using established protocols developed through their years of research. Their conclusion? Anyone can be psychically trained, but some people are born with more skill than others. So, if you're wondering if you are psychic, the answer is yes. If you're breathing, you're psychic. And Montel Williams, when Montel was working with Sylvia Browne, said, because, Sylvia Browne is a famous psychic, he said just being around her, a lot of that psychic energy rubbed off on him too, making him more intuitive, psychic sensitive, and able to read things. And one of the things you were mentioning, like at the fairs, is there's so many psychic people with their energy blasting out from them that it really kind of, I think, enhances all of us at the same time. Even the people that come to see us, I think their own intuition gets raised just by attending one of the shows.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, it's remarkable when I'm reading hands how many people I'm reading are psychic. It's very clear. I'm looking at their hands and there's psychic information all written all over their hands. And I'm telling them, hey, you're meant to do this sort of thing. You're meant to join this tribe, because there's so, like we're saying, really everyone's psychic. In the book, Psychic Connections in the Auric Body, James Masters describes for us the 7 auric layers, what we refer to as the aura. The auric layers are what clairvoyants use to do psychic readings on many things. Moving outward from the physical body, here are the 7 layers. The etheric layer is the closest to the body, having a definite shape and size. Lines of energy are easiest seen here, since this layer is so closely tied to the physical body. The emotional body deals with just that, emotions. This layer is less defined and more hectic and energetic. The mental layer is where concepts and thoughts become reality. It is most often seen around the head and shoulders. The astral layer is a distinct change from the physical energy layers. This higher energy layer controls and deals with relationships and is where emotional bonds are formed. The etheric template is an exact replica of the etheric layer, yet it is on a higher energy level. It is the divinity within. The celestial body is on the spiritual plane. It encompasses love and trust and is where we communicate with the divine. The etheric temple, or causal body, is the mental layer in the spiritual realm. It embodies the cosmic divinity that unifies all things. Our past lives can be accessed here. Each layer is aligned to intimate parts of our being, from personal thoughts to past lives. These highly intricate and complex energy systems combine, allowing clairvoyants to access these auric layers and help individuals with many different issues.
This lifetime, then you're actually building up that good karma. Now, of course, whether you're a musician or a doctor or a painter, if you're using the skill you're born with to enhance all of humanity, of course that's good karma. It's a great thing to do. On the psychic side, though, don't you think maybe it's good to ask for permission sometimes before actually giving that energy? Because, you don't want to totally shock people.
Yeah. No, I would think not. It's I was looking at how with everyone having their psychic abilities, how you may not recognize that you've had psychic experiences yet, but I would bet that you already have, and you just don't quite know it yet. You made a left turn and you didn't know why, and suddenly something happened to you, and you didn't chalk it up as a psychic experience. One of my first experiences was with 9/11, like you talked about. I'm a flag dancer and I spin my flags, and I woke up suddenly in the morning and I started to spin them wildly, and then there was this knock on the door with my sister saying that the first tower had been hit.
Have you ever found yourself thinking of someone only to have them call you on the phone? Or found yourself somewhere you've never been before only to realize that you already know this place? Have you had dreams or strong feelings that something would happen only to have them come true? You could be crazy, or maybe you're just psychic. Before the World Trade Towers of 9/11 were hit, there were many people around the world who had visions, dreams, and premonitions about it. For many of those people, that was the first and only psychic experience they ever had. Though every one of us has the potential to be fully psychic like any other talent, some of us have more ability than others. But practice can make all the difference. Then, too, there are different types of psychic skills. Some psychics can see spirits, while others can sense their presence but not actually see them. Others can hear disembodied voices, while most of us just hear our own small, still voice. Some people have trouble believing that they are psychic because they are expecting much more drama, like you would, see in the movies. For most of us, the experience isn't all that earth-shattering. A simple hunch that leads you into a place or situation that turns out to be important and results in something good for you or someone else can be proof that you are psychic. A vision of the future that comes true is pretty dramatic proof of psychic ability. A prophetic dream is impressive, but a little more subtle. Then there are the majority of us who feel like they just know stuff. A friend of mine who has such a subtle gift that she senses energy surging forward or ebbing away as people speak of their future plans. No matter how true the speaker's intentions, she always knows when things are not really going to happen. She's rarely surprised or left disappointed when things don't really work out. My friend can get a lot of information about a person she's never met just from looking at a picture of them. This is particularly true with pictures of children, which can allow her a glimpse into that child's future.
Just assume you are psychic. Start looking for where you've got these subtle abilities and start listening for them. Start paying attention to them.
And my grandmother, who, very Roman Catholic, by the way, she would never call it being psychic. But what she would call it was she was filled with the Holy Spirit.
Where do these psychic abilities come from? What is their source? I personally believe that the source of such things is found in our intrinsic connection to everything else. Everything touches everything. And I believe that it does so best when we first connect ourselves to our own personal energetic connection to all that is. From studies conducted by multiple research centers, it is clear that there are energetic access points for receiving psychic information. They also found that our lives flow more freely and naturally by connecting to these energy centers within us. You know, I still get those flash forwards from time to time. Now, will I end up dying on the moon by removing my helmet, having lived well past the age of 120? Well, if all the other similar experiences I've had are true, and they sure seem to be true for me, then maybe I've had a premonition of my death coming into you and speaking to you, or whether you're just having a really interesting thought. Whatever it might be, that quality is you being psychic.
And now we go to the Conspiracy Conference to talk with Deborah Tavares about the dangers of smart meters. I'm here with Deborah Tavares, who's an advocate for frequencies against smart meters. And all of us have heard in the news lately, the PG&E is putting these smart meters in our house. Most of us have no idea what they do, what they mean, even how they work. All we do is we come home, we see them there. And Deborah, you've been like active in this field for 2.5 years, but honestly, most of us have no idea what this is even about.
Well, that's absolutely true. If we knew what it was about, it would have stopped, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Because if they told the truth about what's really happening with these smart meters, if they told you it doesn't save you money, which they say it does, but it doesn't. If they told you it radiated you in your home and made you ill, you wouldn't want one. If they told you that it spied on you, which the CIA now admits it will, and that they're going to data mine you of all your personal information, you would not have a smart meter. So they haven't told us the truth about the entire game plan of the global grid. The global grid is to absolutely control all energy resources globally. We're talking about water, electricity, gas, food, and waste. It's a global grid, and what they have not told anyone is the entire intention of it. It is going to cost exponentially more money. They don't even really know how much more money. They are just knowing that because we have all agreed to agree that we will pay more money, we will be willing to pay more money. And of course that's not true, because the people are not told how much it is going to cost.
Well, you know, if I'm coming home and there's a notice on my door saying PG&E wants to put a smart meter, we're coming next week to do this, right?
Yes.
Can I opt out? Can I say, no, please don't do this?
Yes, anywhere in the state of California right now, the California Public Utility Commission has required that the utility companies offer an opt-out to the customers. The opt-out is costing the customers $75 for the initial opt-out fee, and then $10 additional per month. What we are telling people is to make a separate check for the $75. It is an extortion fee, most people feel, and write on the check memo, paid under protest. Then every month when the additional $10 is charged, make a separate check for that payment as well. At some point, people are hoping that that money can be recouped. We're uncertain about that because, of course, the level of the deployment, we're talking about the global bank, we're talking about the government, we're talking about the banking families. This grid is coming from the intention to absolutely control everything about our lives, absolutely.
Now, when they have this smart meter, and especially when they have appliances that interact or work with this smart meter, what kind of information could they gather, and why do they even want to gather this information?
Well, yes, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. All of the appliances will be required to have RFID chips in them because they claim that they can help you track the use of your appliances and turn it off remotely and help you manage your bills. However, the plan is to ration, and they will be able to turn off your electricity ability during specific times, which they call peak times of use. Those are the times they will charge you the most. Generally, the times that you live in your home will be considered peak times. And so they will be forcing behavioral changes. They admit that there will be required behavioral changes. People will be wanting to know how much time it's going to take for them to cook a chicken, for example, in the oven, or whether it's more cost effective for them to cook their chicken on the barbecue. We're going to get to the point, based on their program, that we're going to need to know that type of expense, because it's going to be that much money.
So if I'm home and all of a sudden, I'm on a budget just like everyone else, and I have so much money I can spend on power or water or food or gas or all these things, then all of a sudden I'm getting information that limits me in my ability to really enjoy life on a basic level. Because now I have to choose between taking a shower or cooking a chicken.
Well, that is true. And also you would have to choose between whether you wanted to use your carbon allowance on charging your electric vehicle. You can exchange doing your laundry or cooking your food for charging your electric vehicle.
Okay, so it sounds like now all of a sudden the state is coming in through this legal monopoly, PG&E, to tell me when I can stand up, when I can sit down, when I can flush, when I can wash my dishes, when I can charge my car.
That's exactly what it is. We're talking about totalitarianism. We are talking about absolute, complete control. Absolutely. And we're talking about our rights, the way we live in our homes, being smashed to smithereens. And if you go further with this bizarre story and you look at the Wildlands Project map, that will further illustrate the absolute unbelievable reality that we're faced with.
Well, Deborah, I was listening to Deborah talk not too long ago. She was giving this wonderful, amazing presentation with lots of information. So, you guys missed it because I was there, but they need to be able to find you. What's an easy way to find you?
Yes, the best way to find me is on refusesmartmeter.com. That's refusesmartmeter.com. We're running a number of websites and the other sites linked from that as well. So again, refusesmartmeter.com.
Now, please take a look at this. Smart meters are starting to become a bit ubiquitous, at least in the state of California. And if you have any concerns about your smart meter or about the radiation from your smart meter or about the future use of this information and interaction, which I think you really do need to look into, come take a look at this segment. You'll have contact information and, of course, in the credits at the end of the show. Deborah, I want to say thank you so much, and thank you for the hard work over the last 2.5 years. You've really done a service for all of us. Now, it's important to say that, there's a lot of controversy about the smart meters, the information they gather, the electromagnetic frequencies that they emit, the meter being next to a bedroom or a place where people are a lot, and that those EMFs actually causing physical harm. These are really important questions to look at, and they are being looked at. And Deborah, I just have to say, she is passionate on this. She is incredible. She was even protesting smart meters to the point where she was arrested and taken to jail and then let out on bail because she feels so passionately about this.
Wow, she's really an amazing woman. All of the information that she provided was fascinating. There's even more information on her website when you go to it about how these smart meters might actually be causing fires, and they're actually withdrawing their use in certain areas right now just to test them out and see what's going on.
And we want to know where our information is, where our activity is going. We want to know how our own information, this personal stuff, is being used. This topic still needs to be looked into. If you haven't looked into smart meters, please take a moment, go on the web, take a look. It's an important issue that concerns all of us.
And now we have a viewer question from Paul about whether he should change his career.
It's so great to have you here. Now, I've asked my guides to come in. I've asked Paul's guides to come in. I've mixed the cards. Paul has mixed the cards. And we're going to see what his guides have to say. While I'm doing that, Paul, would you mind saying out loud your question that you'd like me to focus on for you?
Sure. I've had a lot of questions about the direction of my career, if I should stay in the IT field or move into something completely different.
I think that's a great question. And I believe your guides are actually going to be giving you an answer to this question. The first thing I want to tell you is there's an energy about you that wants to be set free. It wants to expand who you are, be fuller, be a bigger person, better life experience. But you already create around you good friends, good family, loved ones. People love you. They think you're great. And that is something about you that is really wonderful. Now, of course, you're a normal person like the rest of us, so you have your grumpiness and your off emotions too. But really, you keep that in check. What you really like is this feeling of open energy, traveling energy, going places, being more involved, not locked so tightly down. Now, you're going to have success no matter what you actually choose, because who you are is a successful energy, is a successful person. So that energy for you is going to be very good. And you have Ace of Swords cognition. And so that means new beginnings based on a smart decision rather than intuitive or physical or spiritual. So it's by using your brain. Also, this lifetime, you will be drawing money to you. So no matter what you decide, there's going to be money coming your direction. You really don't have to worry so much about that. However, the universe card in outside influences, I just have to say, is going to challenge Paul and is going to try to push him to really make a decision. So, Paul, where the outside influences card is concerned, which is success upside down, you've got to decide what you want and go after it. Now, the universe doesn't care what you decide, but as long as you're passionate about it. You can't be all milk toasty. You got to be strong, dedicated, direct, have lots of energy. Now, when you make this decision, you're going to find that for you, you're going to be trepidatious. You're going to be up and down no matter what it is. So just allow yourself to be that, but have it be the decision you make. The closer you can decide what you want to do is in relationship to something you love, the better it's going to turn out. Now, where career's concerned, you notice I'm not saying a new career direction specifically. That's because it's not indicated here. And if it's not being told to me in my head or shown to me on the table, I'm not going to say it. So I'm not being shown the decision you need to make because your guides are saying you need to make that decision. It has to come from you, your passion, your direction, not being told what that is. Now, there is a little bit of time here in 2014, which is where we are, to still make this decision. But really, by the end of this year and by 2015, you really got to have a new decision for yourself set so that it can manifest for you in 2015 for you, which is when we're filming this.
Great.
So, Paul is a great guy. We love him. He has good energy. I see a good future for you. It's time for you to engage your passion and go with what you love.
Great, thanks.
So I'm here with Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi there.
Good to have you here with us. So I'm going to be looking at Paul's hands here. And Paul, why don't you state your question for me?
I have a question about the direction of my career, if I should be staying in IT or moving into something else.
Okay, great. So I've looked already at your fingerprints, which reveal to me the nature of your life purpose. So this is relevant very much to your career. In addition, you have specific gift markings, which have career potential. They don't have to be used for career, but if you did, it might not be a bad thing. It would be very useful for you. So your life purpose is built for accomplishment, for making things happen, for being successful.
Okay.
Sounds familiar to what someone else just said.
Exactly.
And that accomplishment wants to be done with creativity and in business. So that you've been attracted to go into a business form of career, understandable. You also have very, very long headlines, very, very logical thinking. So going into a computer industry makes sense that you've done that. Often when we have such long headlines, they tend to lead the way in our lives. We think our way through life. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is to begin to feel your way more through life. That you want to start integrating more of the head and the heart and bring them together. And with that, we want to bring into your other gift markings. Your other two gift markings include, especially, you have double gift markings for creativity. This is under the area of Apollo, stars of Apollo. Apollo is the god of creativity and look at me and being seen and noticed. So someone who's being in IT, not usually so seen and noticed unless someone has an IT problem, right?
Yeah.
So what we want to do there is to have you learn to activate your creativity. So I want to encourage you, especially this year, if you don't have a creative practice that you're involved with, I want you to get involved in one. I want you to pick something that you can explore and try out, something that will have you feel into what's going on internally for you and not just thinking it through.
Okay.
Now there's one other very key gift marking that is over here, and it's over here in the Mercury area of the hands. And these are these lines that are going right here. And those lines indicate to me that you are a gifted healer. You are here to provide helpful information, specifically catalytic growth information to other people to enable them to heal their own lives. Both of these sets of gift markings, the creativity and the healing, have challenges if you don't use them. So I want you to look at how you might at least add those pieces to your life if you're not going to change your career. So you, again, have choice. You can just choose what to do here. But these things want to be incorporated and might guide you towards making that choice.
Oh,
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Markus.
Yeah. It's been so wonderful to have Paul with us today. He's such a vibrant individual with such potential for discovery of what he wants to do. I just loved meeting him.
And I love IT people anyway, because I just love computers, and I love that there's people who make them amazing and wonderful for us. And I think Paul really has a really fantastic future ahead of him.
I think so too. I think that from what we've seen, he has a lot of opportunity to explore how to broaden what he wants to do in his life, or to choose to focus on that more and give himself to it more directly.
And at least from what my guides were able to tell me, the more he really passionately focuses on what he wants for this next change, the better it's going to turn out for him. But they really want him to decide to do that. So Paul, I want to say, you've got a good future. Really decide what you want to do. Engage your passion. You have success and happiness ahead of you. It's so beautiful to see. Good luck to you. We want to answer your questions and address your topics. If you have questions you want answered or topics you'd like us to look into, we're easy to find. You can find me at questtarot.com or email me at joseph@questtarot.com.
And you can find me at markusthorndike.us or email me at markus@markusthorndike.us. In the Sacramento area, you can watch this program on Comcast Channel 17. See more at accesssacramento.org. In the San Francisco Bay Area, you can watch this program on Comcast Channels 23, 28, 29, and 33. And throughout the state of California, you can watch this program on AT&T UVerse Channel 99.
Additional channel listings can be found at betv.org and att-services.net. We're now on Roku and on selected cable channels throughout the Midwest. You can follow us on Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube by searching for Joseph Ernest Martin, Markus Thorndike, or Paranormal Insights. And be sure to watch our other series, The Magic Minute, exclusively on YouTube, where you'll find easy-to-use everyday magical techniques to make your life better, because it only takes a moment to make magic. And when you watch, be sure to click like and subscribe. Please send us your questions and topics
so we can share our paranormal insights
and answers from beyond the ordinary.